From texts to calls, how will the Iran war affect your digital life? It is around 11:30 at night. Someone's video call is freezing, someone's OTP is arriving late, someone's UPI payment is stuck in pending, and on someone's phone the same words are flashing again and again. Network issue. At first glance, this looks like just a small technical problem. But this is exactly where the fear begins. What if a war being fought thousands of kilometers away starts affecting your mobile tower? What if telecom equipment stuck on a foreign route stops network expansion in your city? And the biggest curiosity is this. How can the conflict unfolding in West Asia directly touch your everyday digital life in India? Right now, this story is not just about a battlefield. It is becoming the story of your calls, your data, your recharge, your work from phone routine, and your digital trust. Today, our lives have become so digital that the network is no longer just a convenience. It has become a daily necessity. The moment we wake up, checking messages, attending office calls, sharing location, using a banking app, checking school updates, ordering medicines, booking a cab, making payments, watching short videos, listening to news, all of this silently stands on the support of the telecom network. We do not see the towers, we do not see the fiber, we do not see the routers and radio units, but our entire routine depends on them. That is why when industry bodies begin saying that because of war, tower operations, refueling, equipment delivery, and expansion can all be affected, then this news stops being just telecom sector news and becomes the common person's news. The real story begins at the field level. The Digital Infrastructure Providers Association, that is DIPA, which placed its concerns before the government and the telecom department, said that field personnel are being stopped in many places from taking diesel in drums or containers from petrol pumps. The reason being given is that fuel hoarding has to be prevented, but the telecom industry's argument is that mobile towers are essential infrastructure and they need diesel for backup power no matter what. Restrictions on container sales of diesel were reported in many districts of Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Madhya Pradesh. And according to DIPA, because of this, fuel stations created obstacles in supplying diesel to telecom teams. Now try to understand this picture. Many mobile tower sites, especially in rural and remote areas, cannot rely completely on uninterrupted grid power. The moment electricity goes, DG sets, that is, diesel generators, come into use for backup. If the routine supply of diesel is disrupted, then the tower's battery and generator backup chain comes under pressure. DIPA said exactly this, that telecom networks need diesel continuously at tower sites to run round the clock, especially in places where grid supply is erratic. The industry also raised the issue of daily power outages of 4 to 6 hours in many states, which increases dependence on DG even more. Put simply, if the power goes and diesel is not available, the tower site stamina starts falling. And if the tower gets tired, then the reliability of your calls, data speed, and connectivity can also begin to tire out. This is where the question arises. If towers start facing trouble, will the entire network collapse? Not necessarily. Telecom networks are layered systems. In some places, batteries provide backup, in some nearby sites absorb the load, and in some places, traffic gets rerouted. But under continuous stress, service quality can certainly be affected. This impact will not look the same everywhere. In some places, voice call drops may rise, in some data speed may slow down, in some congestion may increase during peak hours, and in some remote pockets vulnerability may be higher. So it would be wrong to say that all of India will suddenly go into blackout. But it would also be wrong to say that there is no such thing as risk. The real danger, before any nationwide collapse, is localized disruption, delayed maintenance, slower expansion, and rising operating pressure. The problem is not limited only to keeping towers running. Towers are also built, upgraded, and repaired. And here, another major obstacle has appeared. DIPA said that because of LPG and related fuel curbs, galvanization units are being affected. Galvanization is a critical process for tower manufacturing, because tower structures have to be made corrosion resistant. If such units face interruptions in fuel supply, then the rollout of new towers and network expansion can get delayed. Its direct meaning is that where coverage is already weak, improvement there may get delayed. And in areas where data demand is rising rapidly, the work of adding capacity may slow down. War does not always cause damage only through missiles. Many times, it affects by slowing down the pace of infrastructure through supply chains. After this, the story opens another layer. Equipment logistics. The Telecom Equipment Manufacturers Association, that is TEMA, which represents manufacturers linked to companies like Ericsson and Nokia, clearly said that there are severe delays in getting network equipment delivered to operators. A component shipment that earlier used to arrive in 1 week may now take up to 1 month. Just understand the seriousness of this statement. Telecom is not just a game of towers. Behind it are radios, antennas, power systems, transmission gear, switching components, fiber-related hardware, cooling units, and many imported parts. If one critical component gets stuck, the entire installation schedule can get pushed back. If installation gets delayed, network upgrades can be postponed. And if upgrades are postponed, the gap between user growth and data load can widen. Why are these delays happening? Because during war, shipping routes change, insurance premiums rise, risk surcharges are imposed, cargo handling slows down, and sometimes ships have to take longer routes. Reuters reported that amid the Iran war and shipping risks, India is considering steps like sovereign guarantees for insurers because maritime insurance risk has risen sharply. Routes linked to West Asia, especially the Strait of Hormuz, are extremely important for India. According to Reuters, a large share of India's crude imports and nearly half of its LPG imports are linked to this route. When such a choke point comes under stress, the impact does not fall only on the oil bill, but on the entire freight ecosystem. Telecom equipment is part of that larger logistics web. Now you may be thinking, if the war is affecting oil and shipping, then how does it reach digital life? The answer is simple. A telecom network depends heavily on three things: power, equipment, and continuity of maintenance. If power becomes more expensive, operating costs rise. If equipment arrives late, rollout gets delayed. If maintenance crews face difficulty in getting diesel or site access, uptime comes under pressure. And all three of these together shape the experience that you feel on your screen. Perhaps you feel that the internet is a little slow today. Perhaps you wonder why 5G was promised in this area but still has not arrived. Perhaps you feel that call quality is not what it used to be. Not every problem will be caused by war, but war certainly exposes existing weaknesses that remain hidden on normal days. Another interesting and worrying aspect is that the telecom sector is already operating under the pressure of heavy capex, competitive tariffs, and profitability stress. In such a situation, if logistics cost and insurance cost rise for imported equipment, then margins come under pressure in the short term. Companies do not immediately pass every cost on to the user, but over the long term, industry economics can change. This can affect tariff strategy, rollout priority, vendor negotiation, and capital expenditure planning. Comtel Networks also expressed concern that new capital expenditure and quotation requests in West Asia could get stalled, which shows that uncertainty is not limited only to transport. It is reaching investment decisions as well. When uncertainty rises, the mood for expansion starts slowing down. Who can be the most vulnerable in this story? Often the very India that gets less space in headlines. Rural belts, remote areas, low redundancy sites, clusters with difficult terrain, and places where alternate coverage is not strong if one tower site's health weakens. Urban metros may have many layers of backup and overlapping coverage, so the impact may remain less visible there. But where infrastructure is already thin, diesel, power, or maintenance disruption can be felt much faster. That is why this war once again brings forward the old question of digital inequality. Those who have stronger digital infrastructure absorb the shock. Those who have limited infrastructure are affected even by a small disturbance. And this is not just about calls. When the network becomes unstable, its effect can spread to banking, education, healthcare, and governance as well. An OTP delay may look like a simple inconvenience, but sometimes it stops a banking transaction itself. A network issue is not just social media buffering. Many times it can also mean a telemedicine consultation getting stuck. In a village, falling connectivity can mean a student missing an online class. For a small trader, unstable network means a QR payment failing. Today, the strength of digital India is that so much runs through the mobile phone. But that same strength is also its vulnerability. Because the more connected a system becomes, the more sensitive it also becomes to external shocks. It is also important to understand that the effect of war does not always come as direct damage. Many times it comes in the form of delay. A network upgradation that was supposed to happen this quarter gets pushed to the next quarter. Hardware that used to arrive in 7 days now arrives in 30. Diesel that used to come through routine refilling now needs approvals or alternative arrangements. A tower rollout schedule that was moving smoothly starts slipping because of permissions, fuel, and fabrication bottlenecks. Slowly, the user begins to feel why the promised improvement in their area did not arrive on time. This slow burn impact is the most dangerous because it creates fewer headlines, but everyday frustration keeps rising. Understanding the importance of the Strait of Hormuz is extremely important here. Both Reuters and AP have highlighted that it is a major choke point in global oil trade and a highly sensitive route for India's energy security. When tensions rise here, not only crude or LPG get affected, but shipping confidence, freight cost, insurance exposure, vessel routing, and delivery timelines all get affected. This is the invisible pipeline through which a large part of the world's trade moves. And when that invisible pipeline shakes, its vibration reaches sectors sitting far away. Telecom is one of those sectors because its supply chain is global, but its uptime is local. This global-local collision is what makes this entire story even more serious. But should the ordinary user panic? Not yet. There is no need to panic, only to understand. The available reports are not saying that India's telecom system is about to collapse. They are saying that pressure on the sector has increased, logistics have become more expensive, deliveries have been delayed, diesel refueling has faced obstacles, and power cuts in some states have raised the risk. In other words, the threat is real, but the response capacity is real too. Indian telecom operators, tower companies, and suppliers do contingency planning to handle such shocks. Even then, if the conflict becomes prolonged, if shipping disruption continues for long, and if fuel constraints remain in place, then the effect can deepen. That is where policy support, state coordination, and proper implementation of essential infrastructure status become extremely important. Perhaps the biggest lesson of this whole story is that digital life is not as virtual as it appears to us. You send a message, but behind it there is diesel too. You make a video call, but behind it shipping insurance is also linked. You make a payment, but behind it lie power backup, hardware imports, maintenance crews, and even international sea routes. We often think that if network bars are showing on the phone, then the system is fine. But the truth is that behind those bars, an entire geopolitical world is beating. And when war breaks out in some corner of the world, sometimes its smoke reaches all the way to our screens. If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.